Morning, folks. Well, our snow didn't mount to as much as they said. We only got maybe an inch and a half at most. Most of it's kind of melted. Before it started to snow, it rained. So it's going to be a horrible icy mess going up the mountain today. These cows over here, poor things, they think we do this because we like them. I guess we do. They're tasty. That one, like I said, I'm kind of mad at her. She keeps jumping the fence and getting out and causing problems. This black one, she's behaving. But anyway, you can see this is all pretty much rainwater that collected before it snowed. So that mountain road is going to be awful icy and slick. But anyway, give these guys some grain. And then my boss called me up and said he's got part of a whitetail he wants to give me. So I'll definitely take that meat. Happy cows. They got all that good old corn. If you're not around livestock and stuff, you get it from the grocery store. It might seem a little bit cruel, but you know, that's just kind of the way life is. We all have to eat. Right now, they're eating the grain. Like Cindy says, we feed them, they'll feed us. In a lot of ways, that's one of the reasons I like hunting and trapping. If you ever get a chance and you haven't seen it, there is a documentary called Happy People. It's filmed in Russia. It's mostly in Russian with subtitles, but the guy is a trapper in Siberia, and he puts it perfectly. He said that hunting and trapping is more honest. He said that when he goes into the woods, every animal out there knows he's up there for no good and can do them no good, you know. And he says when you're feeding a cow or a pig or whatever, they run to you to get fed thinking that you're their friend, and then one day there's a bullet waiting for them. So they might be friends, but you know, we're really not that close. So that half a deer turned out to be more like 3/4 of a deer. Wow, he gave us most of it. He just took the hind legs. That'll help the grocery bill. It's another beautiful day. There is some blue sky, a little bit of clouds. Kind of cold out here today though. When my buddy Bill was up here, coming up, he hit an antelope. And Idaho made it legal where we can keep roadkills for either eating or for bait, for wolf bait. So I brought him up here. So far, the birds have found it, but I think that's about all. With that snow last night, any tracks I do find will be fresh. You can see the got pretty good snowfall. We had planned on butchering that antelope and eating it, but it froze with the hide on it. And if you ever been around antelope, they're kind of nasty as far as gaminess, if any of the hair gets on them at all. And trying to get them peeled while they were frozen, it was pretty tough to do. So, unfortunately, it ended up in the bait pile instead of the meat pile. Well, first couple of traps are empty. There's one right by that arched log. And there's another one over here by that tree. Yeah, I don't see anything in either one. The ground's not disturbed either. Tell you what, the storm was supposed to get 4 to 8 inches down on the flat where the house is, but I believe we got that much up here. It's probably at least a foot more than it was. Maybe not more than it was, but it's over a foot anyway here. This spot's still pretty low on the hill too, so my other traps are up higher. Now, might have to find me a new spot. This spot isn't plowed. The other road I could be on, it is plowed, but you got more competition over there. There's a lot of people with easier access. So when it snows like this, you really gotta dig your traps out, and I hate to do that because there's no way to do it without getting close, but I got a little more urine there and a little bit right there. And coming back, I've been brushing my tracks out, but like I said, Cindy, when I first met Cindy, she was training narcotics dogs for the police department, and I mean, watching what she did, you can't fool a dog's nose, and wild dogs are even more wary, so it's really hard to do this once there's this much snow. But if the traps aren't out, I'm not going to catch them for sure. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and hope for the best. I really hate disturbing the snow and leaving tracks and things, but if I don't clean that off, the trap will be too deep anyway, and I still won't catch anything. So you kind of gotta take the risk of it. I'm not really sure where it is. There's the stuff right there. The trap be right here. Okay, so if you look, if it's loose, it's not frozen. The bad thing is that if they step on the edge of it, it might shift, but there's not a lot you can do with the snow. You kind of have to take the worst of two evils and loosen it up a little bit and hope it'll work. One thing I like about this tool, you can make kind of some scratch marks, and then if I take my wolf urine, actually this year it's fox. Wolf urine costs a lot more, and they say that the fox works just as well. these work really good. I'll tell you a story about this here in a second, but inside of here, the part you take off, put up your nose, that comes out. There's a tube in there, and if you take that tube off, then fill it up, it makes a great squirt gun. I mean, that looks like something come along there and peed there. Hopefully they'll come along and step in my trap right there. But this stuff, it's got duct tape wrapped on it now. And the reason why is I took the label off and I put, I can't hardly do this one-handed, I took a magic marker and I wrote on both sides, Wolf on both sides, so I knew it was not nose spray. Well, that wore off. And let me tell you what, when you squirt nose pee up your, or wolf pee up your nose, it burns like you wouldn't believe. So now I got duct tape wrapped on it. Figured that'll be handy if I need some duct tape, but also I can't make that mistake twice. That was horrible. It really hurt. It was, the bottle that I got it out of had frozen, and so I poured off what wasn't frozen, which would be basically distilled, cold distilled urine with all the salts and all the nasty stuff in it, and it was super concentrated and it hurt super bad. It wasn't fun at all. So don't do that. Get another little skip of snow and you won't be able to see those tracks at all. So that trap's empty also. That leaning stick there, I put that there partly to hide the cable I tied it off with, but also if that's knocked over, I know there's been something there. And then down here, let's see where we at. That snare right there, it's still there. And where'd it go? Right there. Hard to see, I'll tell you. That one's still set too. So, I got a few more set in another spot, and that's it. Sure pretty up here though. Snares can be hard to see, which is why they work. Well, my heart just skipped a beat. I looked up there and could have swore that was a coyote or a wolf or something sitting there on the side hill. But it's a rock. Boy, it looks like something sitting there with his head up though, doesn't it? At least from probably, I'm guessing 400 yards away. Oh well. The last wolves I did see, they were on this hillside. So it's kind of funny, you know, you see them in one spot, even just once. Every time you go by, you expect to see them there again. Chances are really small of it ever happening again, but that's just the way it works.